Yay!
Yay, got it.
Nearly there, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Welcome. So this evening, we're just going to briefly take you through how to make social media work following a really simple system. This is a simple system that myself and Annette have been working with. It's been working fantastically well in America. They have had huge success, and we're going to take you through the first 3 steps that you're going to need to do on a daily basis to get yourself to where you want to grow. So why do I need to be consistent on social media? So it's all about the algorithms. You may know a lot of this already, but I think it's really important to really absorb the fact that doing a couple of posts on social media, just dipping in and out, is not going to work, and it is all about being consistent. So it is all about the algorithms. It is all about working with the algorithms, whether we like it or not. That's what we have, and that's what we have to work with. It's about connecting with your audience, and we don't want to look like a catalogue. We want to look like we're more of a blog style. That's how we write our posts now, more in a blog style with content just on there. It doesn't even have to be a a massive story. It can just be a few lines or a couple of lines or a paragraph. And just to really absorb the fact that it takes up to 8 exposures before somebody is committing to buy from you. So if you really want to work on social media, you have to follow these steps on a daily basis, because if you're not following these steps, it's not going to work. You're going to get disheartened. You're going to think, this isn't for me. It doesn't work. I've tried it. It doesn't work. It does work. And the proof is in the pudding, because tonight Annette sent me an amazing message to say I've just sold a product in America because I've followed the Pearls system and the 7 steps. We have Julia, who's sitting here tonight. We've had such fun in the last 2 weeks, and she knows, and she won't mind me saying this, I met Julia through following these steps that we're talking about, and the universe put us together, because what you put out to the universe will come back to you. And honestly, the right people will come to you. So we know hand on heart, because both myself and Annette have been very committed to this. We've been following this system for probably about 18 months now, but we now have a more refined system that we're sharing that's very structured, which suits me, because I need structure. I need to know what I'm doing every day. I need to know what I'm doing every day. And this is exactly what we have with this social media system. So we're following a tried and tested system, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. They've shown us in the US how this works. We know that works because 6-7 years ago in the UK, so they actually absolutely launched this business on social media, and most people in the UK were on Instagram. So what's really interesting about what we're doing, the US then saw what the UK ladies were doing, but they translated it onto Facebook. And actually, Facebook is a much bigger platform, and depending on your age group, and so from 40 plus, Facebook is where it's at. And people on Facebook have more money to spend on themselves. That's just literally how it is. So if you want to work on Facebook, this is the system that you want to follow. So following these will lead to more sales and new business partners, guaranteed. Honestly, it is as simple as that, but it's about being committed. And it doesn't matter if you're rubbish at it to start with, you just keep repeating it. And as you repeat it, it makes more sense. So you're not going to be amazing to start with. You just need to start doing it, and then it will make more sense. That's literally all it is. Main thing is not to overcomplicate it. So we are today, well, not just today, we are going to start with the first 3 steps. but it is because it is there's several steps to follow on a daily basis. Some of the tasks are maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But if you can really nail these first 3 steps, and we're going to do these all together as a group in the next 3 weeks, starting next Monday. So we always start on a Monday. So you've got a few days to absorb it, really think about it, go on your social media, do some engagement posts, do engaging, do some adding. You can start doing some of them. And then Monday, we're going to start with the 7 steps. So everybody's printed this off and we'll share this. So the first 3 steps are posting. So you're going to post, I would suggest 1 or 2 times a day. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And that sounds quite a lot, but actually it's quite simple, because if I can do it, and I wasn't even on Facebook when I started this business, like I'm way behind everybody. So if I can do it, everybody else can do it, honestly. It's all about engagement. Engagement, we sort of think, oh yeah, that's fine. It is a massive part of what we do. And it is the wheels and oiling the wheels of what we're doing. And Ginger Sussman, who literally nailed this, and she's in her 60s, we have her to thank. She said, not following all of the steps is like driving around with a flat tire. So we all get comfortable with some of the steps, but not all of them. But you need to do all of them on a daily basis for it all to work. And if you do it, and as Ginger says, if you put full-time hours into this and work on this full-time, it will pay you like a CEO of a company. And that's the difference with what we have and the power of our business model compared to working a full-time job. Is it worth it? I'm going to do them all every day. Oh, yes. So the 7 steps is all in here. Now, we're not going to go through all of this tonight. You can go through it individually or you can print it off. It's pretty self-explanatory. This has come from America. They've broken it down. We've been doing it anyway. It's just really being creative. And what I've found, and Annette, we were talking about this, is because we know each day what we're doing, it gives you haven't got to think, what am I doing today? Okay, today I'm doing an OMG post or I'm doing a delivery post. What this allows you, these 7 steps, or what this gives you is the space to be creative. So I know I'm doing a delivery post. How can I be creative? And that's what you've got to think, not what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And honestly, when you get into it and start doing it, you'll be like, you might not understand that now, but in a few weeks' time, you're going to go, oh, I get that now. So I'm thinking of different ways of being creative. Even one of my delivery ones, I literally went on there and went, I'm so excited about delivering these, but all I've got in my head is Postman Pat song.
Yeah.
I got so much engagement from that, honestly, literally. And that's what I'm saying. I know I'm doing a delivery post, but how can I be creative? That's what it's about. This is what it gives us. It is absolute pure gold. The other thing is you do need to add in your lifestyle, because if you start to think, and I did mention this to Julie, think, oh, I'm not quite sure. Go back into your own profile, flick up your profile and have a look to see what it looks like. What did you post last? What pictures have you used? Oh my goodness, I'm just looking like I'm talking about collagen. I need to put in a motivational post, or I need to put in a lifestyle post on your timeline. And what I try and do is I'll do a lifestyle or an engagement post, whether it's just motivational, like Julie, you did some lovely motivational ones the other day, I am, whatever. You could do that at lunchtime or in the morning, get some engagement, and then you do a post from the 7 steps in the evening. If you don't get a lot of engagement on your social media at the moment, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I have been there 100%. All you need to do is keep doing it and being consistent, because over time, and you'll see, following all the steps, you'll start to get more engagement. because they'll put your post out to more people because you're beating the algorithms with the steps we're following. You'll be adding more people in, they'll start liking what you're doing, you'll get more engagement. Honestly, it works. You just have to go, I am going to do this, and this is what I'm going to keep doing until I'm a 1% top earner, because you will get there following this. I know it, we're doing it, and we've seen people that have already done it. And it doesn't matter what your age you are or anything, you know, it doesn't matter if you've only got 100 friends, you can still do this and make it work. So that's the posting. So you've got to put, we always say, and also, Julie, you can start doing this in your stories. So actually in my stories, I just duplicate what I've put on my timeline, because some people look at stories and not at timelines. Some people look at timelines and not stories. So but if they see it on your timeline and your story, they're having an extra exposure. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it takes up to 8 exposures for people to know you, like you, buy from you. That's the steps. So when we're talking about, so these are the 3 things we're going to do. Yes, Sue, go on.
Could I just ask something then? When posting like on your stories, is there a sort of amount you should post? You know, whether it's one.
They say, honestly, I would say it's down to you. You always want to at least have 1 story running. They say about 8 stories. If I go on somebody's stories that's got 8, I normally think, oh, I switch off.
Yes.
I would say if you've got 2 to 4 stories running, a motivational, a lifestyle, a product, maybe a results or a poll. Honestly, I would say 4 is probably about the max. I do sometimes do videos and they might be like 8 or 9, but honestly, people switch off because you can see who's looking at them. But you just want to do 80% lifestyle, 20% product. But if you're doing, say, 2 posts a day, and that sounds a lot, but if you're doing, I actually go on to LinkedIn quite a lot, and there's some brilliant quotes on there, really good. I just save those and then I put them on my Facebook.
And I do the I ams. I love those.
They are brilliant. I love those ones you do. But just do 1 in the morning and then do your 7-step post, whatever your day we're on, in the evening.
Okay.
Thank you for that. That is my advice.
Yeah.
And you will see people after a while will start to engage. But it's going to take you time. And same for you, Sue, if you've not been working on that much recently. Don't worry about it. Don't get disheartened. Just keep going. Because mine never took off until about probably nearly 2 years ago, when I went back onto Facebook and I properly started to do the pearls. And that took time, but I know I can put a post on now and I'll get pretty good engagement. But we'll talk about a little bit more about that. So engagement. So this is the other thing. You have to be social. You can't expect everyone to engage on your post and you never engage on anybody else's. That's just not life, is it? So you need to be sociable on social media. So you want to be engaging with between 25 and 50 people every day. Now you can either sit there and do a tally, like, oh, I don't know if I can actually show you. You know, like you do like a little tally thing. Drives me nuts. I do it, but it drives me nuts. Or what you could do is set your timer and do 4 15-minute blocks through the day. Now, in 15 minutes, I would say I probably would do 10 engagements. So if you were doing 4 blocks, that's about 40 to 50 people. That I find a lot easier because I think, oh, I can't be bothered, you know. But actually, maybe to start with, it's good to track how many. But you could just do your blocks. Ginger Sussman, she does 4 blocks a day. Up to you. And then you're going to be adding new people every day to your network. This is really important because you want new people to see your things. This is how I met Julia. We literally, I think Julia joined a networking group and I think we just connected through that. And we don't really know how it happened. It just happened through all of these things. And honestly, that is how it happened. So adding is really important. So here's some tips for each section and track each day. You can take a little screenshot of this if you want to, or take a photo, whatever works for you. So these are literally just some tips. So you are going to track each day, and Annette has actually done a tracking sheet for us all to follow for the next 3 weeks, because we're going to do posting, engagement, adding every day for 3 weeks. So we're going to start this on Monday properly, like day 1, which is your first post. So each day is called a certain thing. First post, last call, OMG, I'm so grateful, delivery. Did we switch round recruiting and?
Well, I left it as it was actually, but yeah, we did
Hmm.
talk about it.
And is this on your own timeline, not on your group?
The time.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Get over it. Just get on with it.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, because we did talk about swapping them, Sam, and I didn't in the end because I just see how we go, because
Well, do you know what? We can chat about that as we go along. We might
can
go
always
today.
change the tracker.
We can.
Right? Yeah, can't
We
we?
can. We can just switch it around. So we're going to track it. Annette's done a sheet, so it's going to be something you can print off. You can track it every day. It will help you. So after 33 weeks, which is 21 days, takes 21 days to form a habit. So after 3 weeks, this is going to be a habit. This is just going to be something you do every day. And honestly, it doesn't have to take you long. So you're posting. So it's all about being creative, being you and being creative. You don't have to copy and paste, but me and Annette, you know, we share our posts. You can look at our posts, you can do something similar, but we just share just so that you can get an idea of what we're doing. We've been doing it for a little while. So if you went back and looked at our first ones, they were probably a lot more rigid, where we're a little bit more relaxed now. So, you know, and that's what the whole 3 week thing is going to be about, you know, just getting used to it. Photos of you and results is way more powerful than using somebody else's, but sometimes you need to use somebody else's results, or you might love their, you know, something. So, but if you can just take, you know, like a silly photo, just like whatever photo it is, or, you know, like we were talking, Julia, I was like, I had loads of products in my hands because I was going to do, you know, talk about anything. I mean, honestly, absolutely anything. The sillier people like it, you get more engagement, because people like real life now. They don't want to see all airbrushed, and, you know, they're not interested. They can relate. They want to relate to you. That's the thing. Okay, so this is why it's really important to be you. And then on your post, you're going to reply to every single comment. That's how I get my engagement. So if you can have a look through my profile, you can flick through my profile, have a look at my engagement. I get pretty good engagement on nearly all of my posts now. That has taken a long time, but some of them I might get 40 engagements. But if you go on there, 20 people have commented, but I've replied to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 40, you know. So you have to reply to every comment, and something different to each comment. Sometimes I just put different emojis or a different comment, same way, but it makes it genuine.
And I just would say though that don't get if you, like Sam says, does take a time to get up engagement, and sometimes you might not get a great deal of engagement out of the blue. You might not get much engagement on a post, but it doesn't. But commenting back starts a conversation, and so you know, I've sold some. I sold a Dematic affirming cream to somebody off of a post the other day, and she was the only person who commented on that post. And so it doesn't always, you know, but you know, it does overall improve hugely in terms of the engagement.
And it will take time. That's the one thing I would say. It takes time, but if you keep consistent, you will build your tribe, like they say. If you're posting a product post, like in your first post and your last call is going to be a product post, you want to make sure you get 10 comments in your post within the first 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So comments underneath. And obviously you're going to want to put a few in there yourself. The more you can get from other people, amazing, but you can't guarantee it. So whether you want to go to somebody, say, oh, can you just comment on my post? Or if you've got any friends or family, just support my post. That's amazing. But you want to get some results pictures in there. See, I always put in my first comment, I always put in something, a link to a demo in my product group. Now, I know you haven't necessarily got a product group. You could do something maybe different. We can talk about that another time. But it's always useful just to, so I'll put, here's some more results. That's one comment. And I might put a result, or then I might put in the next comment, this is from a different age group, or this is my friend Tasmin, or this is results from whoever. And then I put the results picture in another comment. So you're building up your 10 comments. And the more comments you get quickly, the more, this is the algorithm bit, it will put out more of your post to more people. You will get used to that. So engagement, this is all about engaging. This is so key. You know, I think a lot of us don't do it, or we've been in the past not done it, but this is really key. So you need to be really intentional. If you've got anybody on your Facebook friends who you just think, oh my God, they're just absolutely, I don't really like them. They don't put things on I like, just delete them. You don't need people like that on there. Just have nice people on your Facebook. Don't ever be afraid to delete somebody, because if they don't like your stuff, it's just think of it as your shop. If somebody comes into your shop and doesn't buy anything and walks out, you're not worried about it. So if somebody comes onto your Facebook, doesn't like it and leaves, don't worry about it. You're probably better off without them. So you need to be intentional about who you're engaging with, because if you're going to sit and engage with 25 people who have got no interest in what you do, I engage with my friends and people like that, because you don't know whose friends are friends. If you know they've got a good network, you know, you might then start adding people from their network into yours. So you want to be sociable on there. If you've got people that just don't even bother, so engage on other people's posts, and you can engage on stories. Like I put here, you can engage on groups. If you're in any groups, go into groups and engage. And leave a comment. So you can heart something, leave a comment. It doesn't have to be about product or anything like that. It's literally having a conversation, or, oh, that's so lovely. You know, just stuff like that, just general stuff. Heart and a comment of 4 to 5 words is classed as engagement, because you're having the conversation. And then you want to really be in one of your sections of your 4, think about connect or engaging on people's posts who you would love to work with, who you think might be customers. We call them a dream team. You know, if you thought about the dream people you'd like to work with, people like you that love products or whatever it is, you know, you can start to form your dream team. So that's something that takes time to get used to that. So don't think you're ever going to be amazing to start with, or because sometimes you can completely get lost just on engagement. We will refine this one down a bit more. Just get on and do it for now, because it will help your social media anyway. And then the last one is adding new people. So you get this, there's lots of different ways of doing this. I add people that I like the look of. I generally, got to be honest, I don't add men. I just don't. And actually, I'm starting to delete men that are on my Facebook friends. I'm just like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It's
And when,
that is for women anyway.
yeah, generally, because my partner, he commented once, well, what your products, they don't really appeal to men, or you're something about social media and all that. I went, trust me, I am not trying to appeal to men
No.
at all. And he, well, it doesn't. I'm like, that's good, because I'm not.
Yeah.
You didn't really get it?
Yeah.
I'm not. But you're not trying to appeal to everybody. You're just trying to appeal to people like you that you want to work with, that might like your products. It's gone from being, your Facebook is just for your friends and family to actually, this is my business now, you know, and actually it's an amazing platform and it works if you do it right. So adding new people, so people you like we said. So when you go in now, so you get Facebook give you friend suggestions. You can go in. I do this quite a lot, friend suggestions. I look at people that I like, you know, some are too young, some are just look really, and like, if they're not positive or look happy or got, you know, a bit of pride or whatever,
Yeah.
no.
Second.
I do click on their profile. So I think when you go on the suggestions, so you can either click on friends and you get a whole list, or it comes up in the suggestions. So you can click on it and it will take you to their profile, because there's a lot of people that set up profiles that don't use them. So you don't want to be adding people that don't use their profile. You want to be adding people that are active, that get engagement on their posts, that are positive, friendly. If somebody's swearing and this and that, no, not for me. It's not my thing. I can't relate to that. So I do swear, by the way, but I don't swear
Not
verbally.
social
I
media.
don't swear in writing on social media, you know.
You got you.
And
So
I
somebody,
avoid politics as
yeah,
well, because whether
Yeah.
I do it or not, because that's anybody who just, a lot of people seem to just share posts, don't they?
yeah, a lot of people do. That's the other thing. A lot of people just share a post, but you can, but if they've got less than 250 friends, don't
Yeah.
bother, because they're not active, or they might just set up a profile and not used it. So just be a little bit careful you're not adding loads of people that aren't active, because that's just not going to help you either. And also make sure they're in a country that we're open for business in, because we're not open in Dubai or United Arab Emirates, anywhere like that. So I have done it myself. I've, you know, befriended people, and then I find out we're not even open in that country, and I think, oh God, what am I doing? You know. So and also for me, this might sound a bit funny, you might come across a lot of profiles who are in a different language. I don't friend them, because I think I don't know what they're saying, and if I don't know what they're saying, do I really want to be friends with them? No, just in case it's very whatever. So just be a little bit sort of intentional on who you're adding, but you want to try and add. I actually I send 25 friend requests, so I'm probably only adding 5 to 10 people a day to my network, but that's what, you know, 70 people a week, you know, over a month. So actually, if you consistently did that every day, think where you would be in 6 months' time or a year's time. You know, you will clear some people off and add people. That's it. But over a long period of time, you want to have between 2,500 and 4,500 friends.
So
And the other thing is, on the suggestion, if it's somebody you don't want a friend request, I didn't put this on here, remove them. Just remove it, because Facebook like it if you remove them.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So with regards to males, I could go back now and get rid of all the males, because my business is female oriented.
If you want, if they're people you know, if they're in the industry, in the business, people you know, but if they end up being a bit weirdos, then don't bother.
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
actually
do that.
friended somebody recently who was Leslie something, and then ended up he was a man, and he started sending me these weird messages, and I thought, oh, what am I doing? No,
What we doing with that? I think it. Oh,
so
Oh, facts.
the other thing is, though, it is also good to look through their friends, because we don't want to be, and may sound obvious, but we don't want to be friending. So I always look to make sure that there's that Sam, Sue, are not friends with them, because otherwise we're just, you're adding a friend in, which,
yeah, is already in the
something else.
business.
Yeah.
So the other, I mean, you won't have this yet, Julia, but Sue might be able to do this. I actually deleted a lot of new skin people off my Facebook.
Me too.
Because that's the other thing. Once you start to befriend lots of people that are in the same business, they're just going to see your posts. Well, you don't want to see them seeing your posts. complete waste of time. You want new people that aren't in the business to see your post.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So you could always have good clear out, Sue, on that one.
Yeah, I do that from
I've had
time
a
to
clear
time.
out
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to follow these 3 steps each day, every day for the next 3 weeks. And then we're going to meet again. We're going to obviously talk and share and all of that each day and check in and make sure we're doing all right. 3 weeks time, we're going to meet again. I've got a feeling I might be on holiday. I'm not sure. I haven't even checked the dates. But anyway, we'll be in contact anyway. And then we're going to
Yeah.
see where you are then and how you feel about what we've been doing compared to when you first started now. And I bet you're going to think it's going to feel so natural every day, and you're going to start to really get into a bit of a groove with that. Once we've done that and we've nailed that, we're just going to keep doing that, and then we're going to add in a couple of other tasks to what we're doing. That's going to really help. So the first things you're going to do is, and you can do this at different times during the day, is before you do any posting, is you're going to engage on your social media. That's the first thing you do. Even if you just did 1 block of engaging, 10 people, 15 minutes, just start engaging. You can engage on a group, you can engage on your stories. You know, if somebody's looked at your
Yes.
stories, message them. That's an engagement. If somebody's liked your post, message them. That's an engagement. You know, so it isn't just about going onto people's posts, because anything you do in Messenger is classed as an engagement, which is very interesting. Yes, Sue?
Is it sort of a time thing for engaging before you start posting? You know,
I
say
would say 15 to 20 minutes.
right, okay. So not like a couple of hours and then post it, you know.
It doesn't matter then when you post during the day. I think as long as you have engaged that day.
Yeah.
Well, say for instance you did your engaging in the morning and then you did your posting early evening. Is that gap too big?
I think
or does it
I'm
make
not
more
sure. I'm not 100%
Well,
sure. I
Fraser
don't.
Fraser
Yeah, go on.
Brooks, I was listening a little while ago, I was listening to Fraser Brooks, and he was saying that actually I mean, this was a few months ago, but he said he can't find any evidence. As
Mm.
long as you engage that day,
Right.
and Facebook know that you're an active person, he didn't think, oh, he did say you've got to do it a certain, you know, you do have to do it, you can't do it 5 minutes before you post necessarily, but he seemed to think that it didn't really matter how, you know, it didn't really affect it as long as you've engaged that day and Facebook sees you're still active.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Annette.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And actually, you know, posting. So you're going to post each day 1 to 2 posts on your timeline, following the 7 steps. Obviously, one of the steps is the 7 steps each day. But like I said, add in a motivational or a lifestyle post. So you could just do engaging, whack one out mid-morning or in the morning. And then I actually quite like posting in the afternoon. Like I have been posting more my lifestyle one in the evening, but I personally have got people in different countries on my Facebook. It's not just all UK. So we're in different time zones.
Yeah.
So the reality of posting at a certain time changes. Doesn't really matter. I just think if you're posting when it works for you, you'll build an audience that posts at that time. I do product sales at 6:30 in the morning because that's when my network are up, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, they say about these different times, and I don't think it's particularly rigid. I wouldn't worry. But as long as you're doing it every day is what I would say.
Yeah.
And then you're going to add new people each day, 10 to 20 people. And honestly, make sure you remove people you're not adding. You can do 10 to 20. You could probably send 25 to 30 requests, friend requests. 5 minutes. Don't take long at all. And I don't even message people that join my reply. You can if you want to, but I don't. I've never found that replying to people to build a relationship ever works. I find engaging with people that looked at my stories or liked my post or different ways way more gets way more response than replying to everybody, you know, or messaging everybody that like the join, you know, accepts your friend request. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's my advice.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit the same. I used to follow the find out message thing, but it's too time consuming for me. But
Yeah,
but I do sometimes when I go on the profile, if they've got a really busy profile and something's at the top that I resonate with,
yeah.
then I'll
Just go with your gut feeling.
you can't. I don't think you've just got to find your own way of doing
Yeah.
it. Haven't you?
Does anybody have any questions before I stop sharing? Oh, I've stopped sharing actually. Stop recording. Sorry.
What about other people who are into skincare?
Do you know what? I have got an absolute shed load of people in aesthetics on my, you know, Facebook, and that's great because they are good people to talk to. But I actually stopped doing those sort of people now because I want different people. But do you know what, Julie? I wouldn't even worry about that. Just go with your gut feeling. If you like the look of them, you think, oh yeah, they're all right. You know, they've got over 250 friends. They do something, you know, they do post regularly. I'll just add them in.
Cool.
Just go for that now, is my advice. Anybody else have any questions? So Annette's going to share the tracking sheet, which you can print off. So print off your 7 steps, and then this will give you a really good idea. Julia will work closely on this anyway. We've been doing it. You've done all of these steps anyway, literally. And she sold product at Dematic Effects products at full price.
We're well impressed, Julia.
Thank you.